Who's ready to howl at the moon with the boys and the fellows and the ladies and the girls? You are. What's up? Welcome into the Pickoff. I'm your host, Colby Marcio. As always, we're here to talk baseball and baseball only. If you're here for the NFL draft, see you in a half hour because this is strictly ball, glove, bat. That's all we're talking about. That's what I'm here for as well. This is presented by Betting News. We're not going to say, we know what it's presented by. Betting News, duh. And then it's powered by the one and only BetOnline. If you want to bet on the NFL draft and you can't because you're in a weird state, boom, sign-up bonus right there. Yes, we're talking about the NFL draft. What's going on? NFL Pickoff. Here we are. Silly Goose parlays. Not today. No Silly Goose parlay. Only 2 plays to end the day off today. Did not like much in the later slate, but a lot to talk about. 3 games just finished up. The White Sox beat the Twins in 7 innings. Didn't see why. I'm going to assume it's weather. Should have looked into it longer, but I was putting that in my notes last minute because I only cared about the 2 other games that finished off just now. And that is the Red Sox losing to the Seattle Mariners 4-3. That game was a sweat fest. If that was your first time betting on baseball and you bet on Garrett Crochet strikeouts, welcome to Betting on Sports, because that should have never cashed. That may have been the worst start I've ever seen out of Mr. Garrett Crochet. Dude could not find the zone. 59% strikes through 110. 110 pitches, 59% strikes. That is terrible for a guy like him. Walked 5 guys. 5 hits allowed, 5 walks, 4 earned runs in 5 innings pitched. Somehow, miraculously had 9 strikeouts. Cashed the strikeout prop. Boom. What a sweat that was. And then we can talk about Mr. Rafael Devers. Please, can somebody let me know? Remind me. If you see it on my card, go tell me to cash out from here on out for the remainder of the month. What do we have?
I got you.
Week left. He's done. We're not touching Raf Devers. I don't care how perfect the odds are, how amazing the matchup is through my whole morning of research looking at him, because minus 115 for H to the double R is, and I don't like the H to the double R prop. I talked about it yesterday. I'm not a big fan of that prop because you don't get good odds. Minus 115. Good thing I didn't chase the bases at plus 120. Would have lost regardless. That's what I would rather see. I'm actually glad I lost, because if he would have got a double to end the game, I would have been furious, because I would assume that the Red Sox would not have brought him in. I don't know what it is. Is it Bregman? Is it his batting stance? I keep looking at his stance and I keep going back and forth. Is it his batting stance? I don't know, because his stance does look similar to it was last year. I feel like he's too far. His front leg is too far back. I feel like he's too far back in his stance, and when he loads, he's a little bit off balance. I feel like he's too far back overall in the box. He needs to scoot up a tad. But this is a guy that's been in the league for a long time, knows what he's doing. I think it's just because the word of the day, people, April. It's going to go right here, guys. See, it's right here? April. It's April. Talked about it yesterday on Philly Fox Radio, The Gambler, with my guy Sean. And he's just asking me all these questions about baseball. And I told him, if it's lazy, I'm sorry. But to sum everything we're jabbing about, it's April. Is it lazy? Jake Hassan says yes. He is a very smart man. Is he poking fun at the Bear? Yes. But Rafi Devers, get him off my platter for a good month. I will touch you in June. Did not mean to sound like that. Pause. I will touch his props in June. We're taking the rest of the month off. Pause. He got me. Pause. Rafi, get it together, man. If you're miserable, let us know. The people, let us know. Give us some blinks. Blink 10 times. Like, blink how I did on VSiN, where I was like this. Please, somebody let him know. And then finally, the Royals taking down the Rockies 7-4. German Marquez looked like German Marquez. Terrible. However, the Italian Nightmare, woo, terrible. That is betting on pause. That is betting Vinny Pasquantino to a T. You never know what you're going to expect. He's not the most consistent hitter in baseball. He's just a big hoss that you get really good odds on for his home run. Yesterday was 8-1. Today was 560. I forgot what I had. Either way, I lost. And then his bases was plus money. He was swinging out of his rear end today. He looked like a guy that was trying to get out of a slump, but really isn't that much of a slump. He hasn't gone over 1.5 bases since the 18th of April. Hasn't hit a home run since the 12th, where we cashed, all of us. We all win together, have fun together. He was swinging like a guy that was in a slump. When you swing as hard as you possibly can and your helmet falls off, I lose all confidence in that prop with you. And that was the third inning. That was his second at bat. His helmet fell off. I said, no way he's cashing this for us. He is trying way too hard to kill the ball. And if we've all played baseball, trying to kill the ball never works. Your mechanics are off. He just looked desperate at the plate. And we lost both hitter props on the day. So we're 1-4 on the day, down 1.5 units, I believe. We're looking to get back. We'll touch on the final two plays later. But there's a team we need to talk about. And why do I want to talk about them? Because I love that team. Are the Rangers okay? Are they okay? I think, despite it being April, we might have to hit the panic button. But Colby, they're in first place. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Well, guess what? They're first in left on base percentage. Well, Colby, that's a good thing. You're bringing guys in. No, it's not. They're third worst in scoring. They're not getting anybody on. They're terrible. But Colby, they're in first. Not anymore. Not anymore. The Mariners are now tied with them in first place of the West, I believe. They have the same amount of wins. They should be tied. Yeah, whatever. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. They look terrible. They look as good as Jock Peterson, minus the double he hit in the ninth inning yesterday that didn't matter. SBJ, I want you're the only person I can see laugh. I'm just going to look at you for this. It's not a joke. It's the truth. Jock Peterson hit a double in the bottom of the ninth, pinched hit, I believe, and the announcers glazed that man till the end of the game. 4 pitches later, the game ended. They glazed that man for 4 pitches. The game ended. Like, this is why they brought him in. Blah, 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 blah. No rally started. Game ended. They lose to the Athletics.
Hasn't he been really bad too to start the season?
He's batting under 100.
Yeah, like 85 or something like that.
That was his first hit since April 3rd.
He deserves the glaze.
If we as a group, as a family, were to bet his under hits for we would be legends. I don't like betting unders, but Jesus. I think Monty did take one. He goes, I'm going to do it. I'm like, dude, you have some balls. I can't bet unders in baseball unless it's pitcher props. I can't do it with hitters because I couldn't watch the game. I wouldn't be able to watch the game. The Rangers just look putrid. And the only reason I want to say it's time to hit the panic button with them is because it really hasn't hit the fan yet. They're first place. If you're not paying attention, you're like, that's good. The Corey Seager's going to be out for a bit. They need guys to step up, and they need to get those bats rolling. This team is loaded top to bottom. Is this coming from a guy that's complaining about his future and is worried about them because he's so high on them in the offseason? Yes. Yes. Everybody needs to get rolling. This is too good of a team to be, forgot to mention this, 20th in run differential, -14. Somehow in first place. Somehow scraping by. I don't understand it. I really don't. Again, April. It could mean nothing in 2 weeks, and they might figure it out. But let's get into the real thing we're going to be talking about today, and that's the MVPs. Let's get into it. I think it's a real interesting conversation because there's some value out there. Not really the AL which I think we should just touch on right off the get-go. Let's pull up the odds. Aaron Judge, obviously at the top of the list. The guy's batting above 400 this season. He is the best hitter in baseball right now, bar none. Maybe arguably the best right-handed hitter of all time. Some are saying I haven't gotten there yet, but I love him to death. He is absolutely amazing. Now, you're probably watching the screen right now and going, well, where's the value at, Colby? In the AL, I don't know. I don't think there is any ounce of value. Sure, Bobby Witt at nearly 10-1 isn't terrible, but that team as a whole, the Royals don't look good. Despite their win today against German Marquez, they don't look good. Gunnar Henderson looks terrible. Mike Trout does not look that good. Sure, he's had his moments early on this season, but he hasn't been that good. Tyler Soderstrom has been pretty solid, but I don't see an Athletic winning the MVP. Is that the only handicap I have for not why I don't want to touch Mr. Tyler Sodi? Yes, 1,000%. I cannot see an Athletic winning the MVP. I don't care what his numbers are. It's going to go to Judge. Between those two, it's going to Judge. I don't think there's voter fatigue there. Judge is just amazing. Now, the NL. I didn't have a lot to say for the AL because I'm not going to wish ill will on Judge. And I will say it's probably going to go to him unless he has an injury, which I don't want to see. He's too good. He's too good for the game. But the NL, if you're debating sniffing Shohei Ohtani right now, do not touch Shohei because Shohei does not look like Shohei right now. He's batting .261 with 6 home runs, 8 RBIs, and an OPS of .848. Now you're saying, well, if on my favorite team, I would love anyone to have that. We're talking about Shohei Ohtani. We're talking about a guy last year around this time in the month of April, batted .352 with 1106 OPS, 7 home runs, 17 RBIs, 12 doubles, and a triple. But right now in the month of April, he's batting .254, 771 OPS, 4 home runs, 6 RBIs. He has 1 extra base hit if you take out those home runs. No doubles. That's a triple. I'm talking about 1 triple. He's not playing at his level. Will he come back and bounce? Will he get his bat back to where it should be? I don't have any worries in the world. It's Shohei. I'm sure he's going to warm up as the temperature warms up, but I'm not taking Shohei 3-1. I don't like it. Am I hoping that he has an off season? Maybe I am. Maybe I'm wishing that the Dodgers don't have the historical season that we all are thinking they're going to have. Maybe I want some fun. Am I wishing ill will Shohei? No, but go ahead.
Before you keep rolling on this list, because it is an interesting list, what do you think the reason for his struggles are to start the season? Do you think there's this? Is it like he's just
I don't know.
Seeing it well, or what do you think it is?
I don't know. It's I think if someone can say, have they figured him out? I think people have been trying to figure him out since 2018.
All right.
I really don't know. I just think it's April. Like, hey, I'm going to get real sick and tired of saying that, so I can't wait to say it's May. But
yeah, guess
I would not take Shohei right now when there's a lot more value. Pull it back up, SBJ. I got my eyes on 2 guys right now. One I already have a future on, and that is Corbin Carroll. Am I taking the 4-1 when I have a 40-1? No. But let's talk about how well Corbin Carroll is playing right now. Overall, he's batting .327 with 9 home runs. That's all in April. 22 RBIs. He's the leadoff hitter with 22 RBIs. Has a 1097 OPS, 18 extra base hits. In April, he's batting .333 with an 1131 OPS. That dude is making me feel spectacular about having a preseason future on his MVP. He looks fully healthy. I hope he stays that way. His arm looks fantastic. There doesn't seem to be any injury problems from the years past.
You could say he's making you feel.
Oh, we're feeling nicey. Pull the odds back up, SBJ. I got another one. I got some value on the board that I liked. Now, something I do like. Friend of the program, Pete Alonso. Don't mind the plus 700 there. Think you can get a better odds in other books, but Pete is on fire. Pete is on fire. Pete is batting a sub 350 right now with 6 home runs, 26 RBIs, 1122 OPS. In April, he's batting a sub 360, 1164 OPS with 11 doubles. He is seeing the ball better than a lot of hitters right now. Is he benefiting from having Juan Soto in front of him? I don't know. Juan Soto doesn't look like Juan Soto right now. Seems to be a little off over there in the other team in New York. Well, we got Ben Rice over there in the Bronx. So
it's crazy too. You got Soto right under him, even though he's been not great, and you got
the odds jump is insane.
Yeah, you got oh shit, did I make a mistake? No, I think it's directly under, maybe under somewhere was oh god, I'm forgetting his name. Francisco Lindor. He was on the list as well.
Yeah,
but he's a little further down.
Lindor is below Mookie. It's not a bad spot. It's like the black hole is where Juan Soto is in that lineup. Francisco Lindor is hot. Had 2 home runs the other day. Pete's on fire. They don't seem like cooling down anytime soon, but I mean, they're all due. But I think they're 2 great guys, the Mets. Do not look at Juan Soto right now. Lindor, Pete, Big Meat Pete, 2 guys to keep an eye on their odds prop for the NL MVP. I think they're great looks. They're seeing the ball extremely well. But it's time to get into my plays and talk about a guy who's not seeing the ball well. And that is the new Oriole, Tyler O'Neill, to get a hit. I couldn't pass this up. Could not pass this up. Let's talk about him. He's batting 118 in April with 6 hits. Colby, that's disgusting. Why are we talking Tyler O'Neill? $1.45 for a hit. I have to be there. I really like the home run as well. 53 elite ratings, records a hit 64% of the time. On the road, has 19 elite ratings, records a hit 63% of the time. 22% or 20% home run. Against lefties in his career, he's batting .262 with an OPS of sub 900. WRC plus of 144, going up against Mackenzie Gore, who has an poor average hitter matchup, ISO and hard contact, giving up 37% hard contact. He is a 54% fastball pitcher. I am an absolute sucker for a guy that is mainly fastballs. Why? If you can't hit a fastball in the major leagues, get out of the major leagues. You're going to see a ton of fastballs. You got to hit them. But let's talk about Tyler O'Neill against fastballs in 2025. He's basically had the same batting average as Jock Peterson, a 95 against fastballs this season. Seen 100 pitches this season, 95 batting average against fastballs. However, in his career, 263 average, 815 OPS, 132 WRC plus, and has solid numbers against the rest of Gore's pitches. I think $1.45 is a great price to pay for a guy that should get the ball rolling eventually. The weather is fantastic in our nation's capital. You're getting plus 360 for the home run. This is a guy that has a ton of pop, and he is yoked out of his mind. Tyler O'Neill, big fan. Hopefully he comes through. These are my only 2 plays to end the day. Hopefully he comes out and hits both these for us. If not, I think the $1.45 price is worth at least a full unit. If you want to pay to get the full unit back, worth paying it. I just put the 1 because I wasn't confident in Devers and Basquetino because of just how they've been this season. So I put 1 unit on it. I think it's worth paying that. I did want to pay the 45, but I didn't because I was concerned with how the afternoon would go. And look at it. Didn't go great except for Garrett Crochet. 9 strikeouts. Thank you. But I think he turns it around. He's too good of a player to be batting 118 in a whole month. And I looked at it last year. He was pretty solid early on. He's a guy that does go through these grooves of hot and cold, but trends are there. McGore's pitches aren't that great. 54% fastball. Typically going through my handicapping and I see a guy over 50% fastball, automatically like to play. Sometimes I oversell myself on a guy, be like, dude, he throws fastballs only. Thinking that's all he's going to throw. You're an idiot if you think that. Me, talking to me, not you guys. Me. I'm an idiot. I'm the absolute idiot. But Tyler O'Neill is the only look that I like this afternoon. What's wrong with Jock? I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with Jock, but it's April. It's April. He looks atrocious. And I like Jock. I like that he's himself. He always dresses in weird colors and has weird jewelry. Remember he had the pearls? He was obsessed with the pearls a couple years ago. But yeah, those are the only I didn't there was not much for me to like this afternoon. If you have any questions about this afternoon, you can ask. But that's what I have. That's what I want to talk about today. But we can talk grid. And we don't have to rush. Let's grid. Oh, on your books. Is he not in the lineup? I never look because I take my plays early in the morning. 1 hour ago. Not in the lineup. Oh, God, that's hilarious. Not in the lineup.
Nice.
Well, I'll have to look for something, chat, but did not know he wasn't in the lineup. Just wasted that whole pitch. At least we'll get our money back if you took it.
It was a hell of a pitch. He was going to smack. They knew, so he
was going to hit 10 grand slams tonight. They were going to get him out there every at bat. Oh, Lord. That's the problem with – I never look at the lineups because I have to get write-ups out. And I just, assume. I'm like, whatever. All right, let's get into the grid. Let's have – dude, Tawa, however you say his name, is on fire. I can't back that kid. If he hits a home run tonight, good for him. Tigers. So you can do Expos and all right. We're not doing Bryce Harper. We could do Trey Turner, Phillies, Washington. Actually, hold on. Oh, no, do it. You're good. Trey Turner. I was going to say Alfonso Soriano. He did not play for them. All right. Oh, my God. The Nationals has thrown me off. Chad, help away. Any moment, help away. Cliff Lee, middle. Yeah. Ooh, we can do Howie Kendrick. Cliff Lee. Yes. Howie Kendrick works. Bang. All right. Niche Dodger. Ooh. Can you see if they had to do it for that team? I'm assuming it is. Oh, yeah. Do a top left. Or do top left Max Scherzer. Yeah. That's a good one. Thank you, Rusty. Pew. Damn it. Rusty, you son of a gun. All right, let's do Jack Morris top right. Maybe it'll get us out. Get us back to even. Oh, God. Good call. 20 wins for the Phillies. Jeez. I feel like they didn't have any good pitchers.
Roy Halladay? Is that too chalky?
Definitely. That's like saying Max Scherzer for the while.
I can't be worse than Max Scherzer.
Oh, God. If you want to put it, go ahead. Do the Doc. Did Doc? I don't think Doc had. No, he wouldn't have did it for the Phillies. He was too old. Cole Hamels. We'll do Cole Hamels instead. 20 wins is a lot. We'll do Cole Hamels. At least he was there for his prime. Yeah, 20 wins is a lot. Dodgers, let's do Sandy Koufax because he pitched probably till his arm fell off. Ooh. K-O-X. Is that K-O-X, right? Oh, excuse me, K-O-X. K-O-F. I'm an idiot. Sanderson Koufax.
They don't have him on here.
What? Sandy Co. K-O-U-F-A-X. Bang. Has to happen. Thank God.
I was about to say, I didn't know it was KOU, though. I thought it was K.
Yeah, I'm over here saying KOX because I'm a moron. All right. Dodger ERA. Did he really? Go ahead, put it. That's insane.
Yeah, chalky, but he had
Good for
20.
the doc. Good for the doc. All right, we got one left. Let's do top middle. Let's do David Price. That'll do. Let's see what the chalky ones were.
Not terrible.
No, not terrible at all.
Scherzer, Verlander. Holiday was the chalky one. Wheeler, Bryce Harper, like you said.
Wow.
Trey.
What a bunch of chalky young fellas. Steve Carlton would have been a good one.
Hard to kind of go to the pitcher route. I haven't had one with like all pitchers.
Yeah, I'm not the best with wins was tough because I'm like nobody has 20 wins anymore, really. People say it doesn't matter.
I actually watched David Price pitch at Vanderbilt when he was at Vandy.
Really?
Yeah, because that's when I was in Nashville at the time, obviously, and my friend had
diapers.
No, I'm old, dude. This was like
05?
15 years ago. Yeah, 15. No, it was later than that. It was like 2008, I think, 2007, something like that.
I don't know how old David Price is, but I feel like he's been around since. Well, he's not playing anymore. He came in like definitely. I would assume definitely retired.
Really? He was a bullpen pitcher a couple years ago, wasn't he?
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I'm still mad that Tyler O'Neill's not playing.
He's 39. He's a former player, so
that's old. That's an old man.
Vanderbilt. When did he go to Vandy? Big man. Hang on, I want to know the answer to this now that you've asked me. Damn it. 2007 was his last season with Vanderbilt. I was right.
I was right. 05?
You're both right.
I was right.
05, 06, and 07.
He had tenure there. He had tenure. He was attending. What's funny is I don't have anything to recap right now.
The one play that you had is not even playing, so there you go.
Shags is down there 11. Shaggy, I gave the play out, and someone said I'm not seeing props. And I was like, no way, he's not in the lineup.
He got scratched. Love to see it,
dude.
Do you know what team drafted David Price off the top of the dome?
AL or NL?
Fuck.
It's the Rays, isn't it?
I was gonna guess the Rays. It's not the Rays.
Who is it?
Where does Shohei play?
The Doyas? He played for the Doyas?
I don't think he actually played for them though. He just got drafted.
He did. He bounced around later in his career. He was definitely a Dodger at one point. I think later in his career because he was a Ray, Tiger, Dodger. There's another team.
Red Sox.
Can't think of the other one. Red Sox. Yes. Wow. What a career for that guy.
Wasn't he a Yankee too at some point?
No.
I feel like everybody's been a Yankee.
Everybody, Ichiro, Pudge Rodriguez, Randy Johnson, Shaggy Betts, Vsauce, not SPJ. They couldn't sign him. Too big, too much beard. They couldn't handle it.
That's true. That was the Johnny Damons of before Johnny Damon was Johnny.
Johnny Damon used to look like a caveman. But, ladies and gentlemen, there are plays and bets ahead. Yeah, that's embarrassing. That came here with 2 plays in there. He's not going to play. But everyone else down below has plays for you guys from NHL, NBA playoffs, and NFL draft. So all your draft questions coming right up ASAP. I'm Colby Marcio. Yes, I changed my ad on Twitter. Changed it. So it ain't C_MAR. You don't have to do all that crap anymore. Just remember my last name, initial, and then my actual name. And then you just add Shaggy's last name, and boom. That's my Twitter at now. Bing, bong, bing. We're back. Thank you guys for tuning in for the Pickoff. I will be back next Tuesday, but tomorrow, live at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern, with Mr. Shaggy Betts and Up Your Units. And without further ado, here are the fellas for BetSpressy.
niggas. You know, so we ain't really never had no old money. We got a whole lot of new money, though. Raindrop, drop, smoking, no cooking, no hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, dot. Cooking up dope in the pot. We came from nothing to something, nigga. I don't trust nobody, couldn't trust nobody. All of the gang and they come and get gang. Got me a river to do with my shit. Bad and boozy, bad. Cooking up dope with a boozy. My niggas is sad, ruthless. We got 30s and 100 rounds too. My bitch is bad and boozy, bad. Cooking up dope with a boozy. My niggas is sad, ruthless. We got 30s and 100 rounds too.
What is going on, everybody? Excited to have you guys with us. Welcome to your afternoon BETSPRESSO right here on the Betting News Network. Hope you guys enjoyed the last half an hour with Mr. Colby Marcio, giving you literally nothing to bet on in the MLB. Just talking to you about baseball for a half an hour. No, we had some fun talking about the Diamond. He had some MLB MVP picks for you guys out there. We got another hour right here live on the channel talking about the NFL Draft, which is going on tonight. We're going to talk about the Yoffs on the ice in the NHL and in the NBA. We got the dogs in the house. I got Vsauce above me. I got Shaggy in the corner. I got NZ. My name's Sweatpants Jesus. Boys, how we living? You ready to rock and roll?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Better now. Now I feel better.
Yeah, I feel better.
Yeah.
Is it weird?
Thursday. It's basically the weekend. You're in your spot now. We got the draft. It's a great day. It's a great day.
I had too many buttons to press all at once. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, get old guys dancing. It gets us dancing.
Absolutely.
Chad, you guys like listening to the music now while we're talking instead of it cutting off abruptly? It makes us feel good too. That's what we like. That's what we like. Vibes are high. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out on the channel. Brought to you by our sponsors at BetOnline. If you guys can't bet the draft anywhere else, you can at BetOnline. Go get involved with that QR code in the top corner of the screen. Get $250 dropped into your account and some other stuff on the casino side. Get involved right there. Full house today, boys. Excited to have all you guys here. Haven't had Enzi on a Thursday in a couple of weeks. Excited to have him back in his new digs as well.
I was gonna say new digs in C.
Yeah. Sore subject. Yeah. This is how we have to do things now.
You remember why NZ was Walmart Macmillan forever? He had turned into Walmart NZ for a couple of shows, and so he decided to.
I even had to miss him. It was so bad.
Yeah, exactly. So he decided to move parts of his house until he can do that. But yeah, we're stoked to have you guys here. Like I said, we're going to. I have a proposal for the broadcast. How do we feel about a daily builder plus 100?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can get involved with that. So
I'm listening.
Incredibly juiced legs. What are the qualifications of this, Lindo? What would you like from us? All of us to pitch something incredibly juiced? Do we find 2 legs to get it to plus 100? What are you feeling? What are you thinking?
It's VGK. I'll just say that.
Ooh.
Additionally, as always, chat, we obviously cook a lot of parlays on here and have some fun and post some stuff. But you guys have been getting sharper and sharper and cooking up your own parlays and picking stuff that we either talk about or you like and pairing it with things that we talk about or fading us appropriately and smacking. So keep doing that because we're smart, but you guys are smarter. So that's how it goes. But we can do that. You can actually we want to get to the point actually during the summer or actually probably by the fall where you guys get to vote on your favorite play from the entire chat, and your play of the day will be involved in our parlays. We're moving towards that. We're getting closer. So let us know if you guys would like that. I feel like chat would dig that. And they're sharp too. So
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'd love to share some of the blame with chat. I would totally love that. I would totally not love to sell parlays with Drew Holiday threes. Sorry, chat.
Oh, well, we full faded yesterday, so you didn't sell it. We all sold it, to be fair.
Yeah, but my play just somehow was the shittiest of them all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll pull the curtain back a little bit. You guys know that Sook always tries to keep it 100 on the show. We'll keep it good vibes always. And he literally texted us as soon as the show was over, and he said, I almost lost it yesterday when he said Drew Holiday 2 threes was going in the parlay. Almost.
I wish he had.
Said
Maybe
no.
he wouldn't know how to bet it.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I was going to say the same thing, but I said the same thing to you with Chet a couple days before, and Chet smacked me.
I told you to say it. You didn't mean it this time, though. You should have told me it was a shit bet.
I meant it.
These first 2 threes would have switched.
Yeah, you should have just bet it in your own little
Tough
corner. And
love.
you would have been fine. Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. I'm not lying to you, Rusty. I would never lie to you. Would never lie to any of you, beautiful people. Never ever.
He just did. I'm joking.
Just you. Only you. Right there. All right, guys. Well, let's talk a little bit about the draft. We're not going to talk too much about it. Obviously, you guys know the draft is tonight. Special surprise for you guys. Haven't been posted on the timeline yet, but it will be live for you guys later at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Betsky and Fam will be live on playback to sweat out the first round of the draft with you guys, sweat out some basketball as well. So if you want to hang out with the squad whilst the draft is going on, get involved at playback.tv/betting news at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Get posted on the timeline in a little bit. But Shags, I know you wrote about this yesterday. Guys, a lot of you have seen all the different stuff going on the timeline with the draft, obviously. This is the list of what we got.
IB.
I have to fix this. Yeah, I got to fix it. This is the list of teams that we have. That is the list that you guys know. A lot of this might change in the next couple of hours leading up to the draft. We might see some movement from some of these teams. But this is the important thing. These are the odds around the top 10 picks. And, respectfully, chat, Cam Ward's going to be a Tennessee Titan. I'd be incredibly shocked if he wasn't drafted by the Tennessee Titans. Right, Shax?
Yeah. I mean, the odds on BetOnline actually aren't even on the board anymore. They took it off. It was around the minus 20,000 number yesterday. It's probably up to minus 50,000 today, but off the board completely. Just because I think it's very solidified now that Cam Ward is going number 1 overall. No doubt about it.
I don't hate it. I've kind of come to the accepting fact that he's going to be a Titan, and we'll just see how it goes. But then after that, it is when it starts to get interesting. Obviously, you got Hunter, who could possibly go to the Browns. The Browns could move. I've seen some stuff about the Browns possibly shifting their spot, maybe dropping down a few picks. The Giants could move around. There's no Shedeur Sanders in the top 10, as you can see listed right here from an odds perspective. There's been some shakeup on Jackson Dart, maybe being drafted before Sanders. What's kind of y'all's just feelings going into this? I don't get in super big into the draft, even though my team's picking number 1. I don't really care. I've never been a big draft guy. Do you guys like to draft into it?
I like to pay attention to it. I don't spend, tons of time researching it or trying to bet it even. I kind of watch it for enjoyment. But it's all right. It's
The
pretty
Titans
cool.
fan, you'd think you'd be more invested, SPJ. Sorry. I had to do it. I'm sorry.
Pitch Drew Holiday yesterday.
Low hanging.
Hey, it was low hanging because nobody laughed. Cowards.
I laughed.
I mean, it's funny, but
But they also don't end up with
fresh
the top
material.
pick.
No, I know.
I keep seeing that if Hunter goes second, that they're going to try and trade up so they can get Sanders as well. I keep seeing that.
Who? The Browns?
Right. Meaning the Browns. That
the
that they'll
Browns.
take Hunter second, but then they're going to try and
Trade
work
up
some
get
magic
Sanders.
to get Sanders before somebody else takes him.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like Sanders has fallen out of the first round at this point, especially with the odds shifting in Jackson Dart's favor to be the second QB off the board now. And also with looking at the odds for number of QBs in the first round, 2.5 was plus money. I think it's even steamed up now. It was even money for over 2.5 yesterday. Let me see if I can find that now. I'm not seeing it. But likely that we only see Cam Ward in the first round. Potentially maybe Ward and Dart later in the rounds, but I feel like Sanders has fallen. I feel like teams that want him know they can get him later. Than early, later than tonight.
I mean, we thought that on a different kind of sort of different, but last year, Michael Penix got drafted 10th by the Falcons. That came out of nowhere. There's going to be some random left field swing for the fences by somebody in the next couple of hours or as the draft starts. Yes, we have some breaking news.
I'm looking at the odds right now. I found it. Total quarterbacks drafted in round 1 on BetOnline over 2.5. This was even money yesterday. It is minus 200 right now. So that
over or under?
Over 2.5 quarterbacks in the first round is minus 200. That was even money yesterday.
Huh.
That is maybe telling me more that Sanders maybe does go in the first round, along with Jackson Dart.
I was just thinking, and the other guy, right?
I mean, Dart's draft position, I think, is 25.5
Yeah,
is
25.5, sitting
right.
plus
Mhm.
money to the under. Last I checked.
So
Well,
Yeah.
there's the whole thing of the Giants' son leaking the video of Dart, or was it like a hype video or something about Dart?
mhm.
Who leaked it?
Like the
I
son
think it
of
was the
the
GM son,
general.
right? Or was it the owner's
Yeah,
son?
Of the
One
Giants?
one of
yeah,
the two, yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't he the one that also told him to draft Jaden
Yep.
Daniels?
Uh-huh.
They just signed 2 quarterbacks. They're going to draft one too.
No.
Sorry,
Oh.
Tommy. Bye.
What about
Yeah.
this right
Yeah,
here?
for real.
Abdul Carter. We were all talking about him like he was, the consensus number 1 pick, and you'd be stupid to not pick him at number 1. Now he's dropped 2 spots to number 3. There's talk about the Bears maybe trading up. I don't know if they'll get as high as number 3 to get him, but I know we can talk about the Bears looking at Austin Gentry at 5. But what about Abdul Carter? What caused this? Like, is it because of the injury that he suffered near the end of the season, or what was it?
I honestly think that because when we talked about this was maybe a month ago, something like that. And at that point, I was pretty convinced that the Titans were going to take Carter because I think still he's the best player on the board, just in total from a package perspective. But I just think that they fell in love with Cam Ward and they just really thought that he could be their guy. And you got to swing for the fences to get your guy if you have the opportunity to. But I wouldn't be opposed if the Titans still take him. I don't think they're going to at this point, but I agree with you, dude. I think it's shocking. Could you imagine him going to the Browns and have Carter on one side and Myles Garrett on the other?
It's funny. There's somebody in chat I was talking to yesterday who said the same thing. He was like, if the Browns take him, imagine Myles Garrett and him on each end. Oof.
Well, I know both the Jen and Steak, they're both on Abdul Carter to go second overall at like plus 650, So I don't know. There's so much nonsense surrounding the draft. I don't even know what to believe.
But didn't the
thing
Browns commit to taking Hunter or no?
Didn't they committed to him playing both ways, right? Is that what they said? That they would let him play both ways?
Okay.
Is that what
At
it
this
was?
Basically,
point,
they'll
all these
look down and
motherfuckers
find
be
out.
lying. They all just be lying. Nobody can be believed at this point.
Will Levis was going in the first round.
Sure. Now, see, chat. This is the second time I've heard this man's name today, and I just makes my.
Hey, at least I didn't bring up
Jacob
Tyler
Jones.
Lockett.
Hey, man, I like the signing. I think
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good signing.
Tyler Lockett. Yep, like that.
He will be a beneficial person to the Titans wide receiver core. They're still going to win like 2 games, but
He'll
it's
catch.
fine.
Yeah, do we get in a time machine and go back?
They had to
to
feed him some bullshit to get him to come there with no quarterback.
All right, so this is the thing about Tennessee, which people don't know a lot, and the reason why a lot of older players go to Tennessee is because there's no state income tax. So if you're an older player and you get a nice deal in the last couple of years of your contract and your professional life, you're not going to pay major taxes on it. And Nashville's a fun city to live in.
Apparently, it's a like dream spot for George Kittle if he doesn't work out a deal with the Niners here coming up.
Now
That's what I was
would
reading
move the
reports
needle.
of. Yeah, he was saying, I think he's from that area. I don't know exactly where, but he's got a house in Tennessee. He's got roots down there already. So he would love to just finish his career in Tennessee, in Nashville. And, that's what he said.
He wants to slide into the bus with Will Compton and Taylor Lamb. That's what he wants to do.
Well, he's also best friends with Philip Forsberg. Him and Philip Forsberg are legit best buddies. I think their wives are really close too. Like he has a house here. He's here a lot. He goes to a lot of Predators games. So that would make me feel some type of way. But they've said this for all types of players, dude. They had it when Aaron Rodgers has a house here. Tom Brady was thinking about buying property here at one point, and then it always just turns in. Derrick Henry had a house in Dallas. Everyone thought he was going to go to the Cowboys. Like sometimes these players just like cities because they have houses there because they're super rich. But that would be dope, B. That would be dope. What do you guys think, real quick, before we move past the draft? There's nothing else to talk about, I don't think, right? Like, if you're a GM, and let's say Titans take Cam Ward, and you have the Browns 2 pick, who are you taking?
Okay, my question is are you not going to take the best player at certain position available, right? So who's the best cornerback in the draft, Shaggy?
It's probably Travis Hunter.
Okay, but he's not the best wide receiver?
No,
or he is?
I don't think so. No.
Isn't the Mizzou guy's pretty good, right? Is it
So then isn't
Luther Burden, Ted McMillan from Arizona as well. I mean, you could throw out Matthew Golden from Texas too. There's a lot of, I mean, Egbuka from Ohio State. There's a lot of stud receivers. I think Hunter. I've always thought Hunter's been a lot better on the defensive side when comparing him to other players in his position.
I think if you're going to draft him to play cornerback, you putting him out there to just get smacked on and get hit up by other opposing cornerbacks, it's not a good decision. I wouldn't do it financially. And if I'm him, I don't want to play twice as many snaps for the same amount of pay that everybody else is playing. You know what I mean? That's like in the NBA. Like contracts are very much how much you're playing. The guys who are playing 35 minutes a game are going to get paid significantly more than the guys playing 16 to 17 minutes, right? Why would you want to double up your workload for no increase in wages? I don't know. It's weird.
You don't think that they'll negotiate that apart ahead of time? You don't think his agent has to be thinking the same way as you as well? If my guy's going to play twice as much as everybody else, his contract better be hefty.
Aren't there going to be stipulations though with him coming in on a rookie deal and whatever that entails? So aren't there certain restrictions how much you could pay him? They can't pay him as two players. He wouldn't be the first player to play two positions, right? There's precedent for guys like. I think whatever his max value was at the time he got paid. Devin Hester kind of played both ways for a little while, not significantly, but he did until he made the change. I think there's more precedent to the latter that hey, you want to play, we want you out there. If that's the situation, then we're not going to pay you twice as much, but we'll see.
This is why a lot of these college kids that are going to the pros try to get, especially now with NIL, but they try to get all these deals with Under Armour and Gatorade, and they try to get all the endorsements and stuff in their favor because you guys know for the NFL, even if you get drafted in the first round, you're not making a fuck ton of money. You're making a good wage, and you're living pretty and you're doing fine, but you're
making plenty. I'm not feeling sorry for you.
No, you're not. No, but in comparison to if you
yes,
for what you're doing, you know what I mean? So they're usually making most on endorsements until they get to the point where they can extend after that 3-year portion where they can actually sign an extension contract or they can go and sign somewhere else. That's why teams, and that's why the NFL is so unique. That's why teams try to have that 3-year window, especially with maybe younger quarterbacks, like what we're seeing with the Commanders. Commanders now have their franchise guy, and look what they're doing. They're loading up on primed veterans that are in great positions, paying them a little bit, overpaying some situations to try to go win a championship. Because they know in 2.5 years, if Jaden Daniels stays healthy and keeps playing well, they're going to have to pay him more money than Joe Burrow, more money than Mahomes and all that. So, they got to try to ride out the rookie contracts as long as possible until they got to nut up the money. So,
absolutely.
It's interesting to talk NFL in April. But they get to hijack it for one
draft
day, I guess,
day,
or a couple.
I will say this: if the Packers don't draft a fucking wide receiver in the first round, I'm gonna
might trade for Pickens. Been seeing that kind of rolling around. You like that idea?
Summer, man, he ain't doing nothing. Getty ain't doing shit. He's probably gonna draft another fucking middle linebacker at the pick in the first round or some bullshit like that. All right.
Guard.
Oh no, you have the wide receivers. You have Jaden Reed. I love Jaden Reed. I love him. But give this man a bona fide number one wide receiver with number one talent. Please. Anyways, sorry.
Please.
As Colby's like to remind me the last few times we talked about this, Shaggy doesn't have to worry about this because his team's really good at football. So congratulations. Shaggy,
I don't really care about the draft. Although I will say it fair if you're still listening. I'm with you. I think I'm sold on this Josh Simmons guy. It's funny. I said this yesterday that the national NFL guys, all these mock drafts have the Chiefs taking an offensive lineman at pick 31. Even though we just signed Jalen Moore to be our left tackle, we've got Jawan Taylor on contract for another year. All of the local Chiefs insider regional guys all have us going elsewhere, whether it be a running back or defense or something else. None of them have us drafting an offensive lineman. So I'm very interested to see just what we do at pick 31.
I mean, it was a joke because every draft pick matters. And the reason why the Chiefs are really good is because they have taken advantage of all of those draft picks and drafted really well over the last couple of seasons. But It's gonna be fun, boys. And as I said, guys, if you want some more draft fun, if you want to hang out with Betsky and fam, they'll be live at 8:00 Eastern. You can go hang out with them on playback.tv/betting news. You won't be able to actually watch the draft specifically on playback, but they'll probably have a basketball game pulled up or a baseball game or something, and then chatting through each pick as it gets dropped live. They had fun with it last year. It should be fun if you want to go kick it with them over there at 8:00 Eastern. One of these boys might be there. I don't know. I can't. It's my wife's birthday today. So,
Really?
Yeah, it's Ruda's birthday.
Happy birthday, Ruda.
Ruda.
I said that last night on playback, and she woke up this morning and she's like, "I heard you say wife's birthday," and I was like, "Oh wow, that's crazy."
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, first time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it should be fun. See the draft tonight. So if you want to kick it with those guys, stick around at 8:00 Eastern on playback. But all right, that's enough. No more NFL. We're done. Let's move on to the playoffs because it's huge playoff night tonight in the NHL. 4 NHL playoff games that we're going to talk about, and then we're going to talk about the 3 NBA playoff games because it's the best time of year. Colby gave you guys his one play who he thought he had in the MLB, so no baseball plays from us unless you guys have some baseball. Anybody got baseball?
What's baseball?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I got baseball tomorrow. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, I know you do. Oh yeah, you know you do. All right, let's do the hockey first, and then we'll talk about the NBA.
Sure.
4 games on the ice. Battle of Florida is the first one, and this actually starts here in 40 minutes. They're doing that early puck drop again. Do you guys want to talk about this one? I don't have any plays here, but Lightning taking on the Panthers. What do you think?
NZ, what are your thoughts?
I think that we see a bounce back spot from Tampa tonight, and they tie the series up 1-1. They can't afford to drop both games at home. Prop wise, loving Kachuk again. He looked great. His goal's worth a sprinkle, but his 3+ shots is still around -125, -130, so it's really playable. You could even pair him with Jake Yetzel for 3 shots if you want. He had 6 last game. Guy went in berserk. Kind of have a sneaky feeling that this is going to be a Cooch game because he kind of was quiet last game. I think he had a point, only 2 shots. So I kind of definitely lean the Lightning in this one. Defend home ice. Can't drop 2 at home. So give me Tampa.
You were sharp as hell with taking the Panthers game 1, and they looked awesome. And they got that big lift from Chuck playing, and he was great, dude. 3 points in that game, man.
I know,
Insane.
2 goals.
Yeah, crazy stuff. And Kucherov did get the job done for us. So did Gensel because he was a part of our 6-legger.
First player.
Yeah,
first goal. It was
first goal. We even
talk
called
about
it we called it on Puckett. We literally said Kuch is going to pass to Gensel for the bang, and that was it. So
there was.
Shags, any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'm right there with NZ on the Lightning. I took their money line at -121. Got that at BetOnline. Same kind of thinking. You need this one if you're the Lightning. Sure, you're staying in the state, but you got to go to Florida's place after this one. You got to get 1 at home. You can't go on the road down 2-0. And the Lightning, they didn't play all that bad. The score definitely looks worse than it was, but they outshot the Panthers. They've outshot the Panthers in 3 straight meetings. Actually, they only let up 17 shots. Vasilevsky was terrible in net. He only saved 12 of 16 shots faced. That is a sub 65 save percentage. Do you guys know when the last time Andrei Vasilevsky has had a sub 70 save percentage in a hockey game?
No,
Never.
Literally never in his 11-year career. He has never had a sub 70 save percentage. He only had 1 game with a sub 80 save percentage this year. That is the biggest outlier of a goaltending performance I could ever see. I think he really bounces back tonight, and I think the Lightning come out firing with nothing to lose. So give me the Lightning on the money line, -121.
Chat, you smell that? It smells like the first leg of our parlay. Lightning money line. That's what I'm sniffing.
Oh, I can get behind that.
I think that's what it is. Or something's weird going on. No, I dig it. I think they should get the job done. I also really like to chuck shots, though, NZ. I was looking at his point, too. I mean, 3 points in 3 straight games. He's at a point in, I think, 3 of his last 4 games versus Tampa, too. He's going to get up to play against this team. V, did you have any thoughts on this game? I know you like to dabble on the hockey, especially in the offs.
No, nothing in this one, man. Tampa and Florida, both 2 teams that I have no idea how. They're both really fucking good teams, very high-powered, good teams. I'm just going to stay off and enjoy it from the sidelines.
All right. We can ride the Lightning money line in our parlay, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, let's move to the next one. Battle of Canada, Battle of Ontario, Ottawa at home here. The Senators taking on the Leafs. And Austin Matthews. Over under set at 5.5.
Nice.
Ottawa Senators. A little bit favored here, trying to get back into this series. Thoughts on this one? I didn't look at this one.
We got Shags.
This has got to be the Sens. It
Gotta be,
has
right?
to be.
I agree.
I think swept, man.
I think they're favored kind of for a reason. I think, that's telling that they're going to at least get this one at home. I'm staying off completely. I do like the Leaves. and I'm staying off kind of for that reason of the Sens just need this one so much more. I think they're favored for a reason. I would not price them at minus 130-ish. I would definitely make this closer to a pick 'em, if not the Leaves being favored. But kind of the same thinking I had with the Avalanche in game 2 in Dallas. I liked the Avs, but I stayed off just because it was such a need for Dallas to get that game. Ended up being the right decision. Kind of the same thinking here. Gut tells me the Leafs keep rolling, but I'll sit this one out.
I did take a play in this one. Brady's shots. Chucky shots. You know what I mean? This guy's been fucking firing puck.
Absolutely.
You got to go down with the ship. And the one thing I will say I love about hockey is that the intensity, it gets like, yes, in the NBA, there's more defense, right? So you're going to see more unders. But in NHL, dude, people are firing puck, like 12, 13 shot attempts for Chucky. And I think in these first 2 games each, he has been firing puck down 2-0. If you go down 3-0, I know it's not a death sentence like it is in other sports, but dude, I just mean it's been done in hockey. It's been done.
Close,
you know what I mean? If there's a sport that it's done in, we saw it last year in the Cup Finals. They didn't complete it, but I just mean you get overtime, all these kinds of things. It just makes it so much fucking fun to bet on.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. It's a little chalky. I'm sure NZ was going to talk about it too. The 3.5 for Brady looks really nice.
It's like minus 140 or minus 135. It's doable. He's had 5 in both games. He plays well at home. I mean, if you take him for 5, you guys get the plus chicky. I mean, he's had 2 in the first period of each game, which is I think is like plus 140-ish, 150-ish if you want to dabble with that. Not that I have or haven't been. I agree with both these gentlemen here.
Fam, I'm addicted. What can I say? All right, I have a problem, and it's a big orange ball. All right.
You got to relate it back to what you know. That's important.
True, exactly.
Relate it back to things that you can conceptualize. I mean, it's what Chris does when he talks about horses with us. He relates it to things that we understand and that he knows as well. Shout out, Chris. Yeah, I kind of lean with you, Shags. Maybe the Leafs, and Austin Matthews is probably going to have 8 shots on goal tonight, chat. Just letting you know. None of us are going to bet it. So, anything else in this one, guys? I like Brady quite a bit. I think I might actually bet that. You might have convinced me.
He's got to step up. So
I like his goal too. Maybe
he finally got his first playoff goal last game too.
And a loss as well. Maybe back at home.
They showed a little bit more fight. They held him back to only technically 2 regulation goals, even though they lost in overtime. I mean, the game prior, I think it was like 6 or 7-2, if I remember correctly. They just were nowhere to be found. So
yeah,
home ice, they got to do it. Got to do it.
All right. Let's move on. Let's go to the next game. 2 more to go. Last 2 of the night. This one's really interesting. So you got VGK taking on the Wild. When we talked about this on Tuesday, we kind of were thinking that VGK might sweep the series, and the Wild said, "Not so fast, my friends." And they came out and put a 5 spot on VGK at home to tie that series 1-1. So now it moves to Minnesota. I've got to play in this one. I'll lead us off, and then you guys can kind of talk about the lines here. Don't really understand this line. We talked about it on Tuesday. I'm taking it again. I didn't take it straight on Tuesday, but it smacked in our parlay that ended up not selling because of Austin Matthews once again. Over 1.5 SOGs for Ryan Hartman. I got minus 140 here. Chat, this is a set it and forget it right now until this guy misses. He's hit this in 5 straight games. He's had 3 shots on goal in both of the games to start this series. But it's the attempts, which is why I really like this a lot. He had 7 and 9 attempts in the last 2 games of the series. He's also hit this in 7 straight games versus VGK. If you're going to give me a 1.5 line at a playable number at minus 140, I'm going to take it. I know it's a little juiced for a minus 140 for a shot on goal prop, but he had 3 in both games. If you want to bump it up to 3, the 3+ is plus 225 if you're feeling really frisky. So I really like Hartman. Maybe even the Wild to go up a game. I don't know. So I like Hartman. I also really like Hurdle again, too. We talked about him on Tuesday. His point prop is still at a playable -120. He's at a point in both games to start the series. He's been really, really good as the main member of that second line for the VGK on the road, kind of looking to bounce back here. So I like Thomas Hurdle as a point. And you also take his shots for 2.5 as well. He's been rolling. Nothing wrong with riding that wagon as well. But I like Hartman a lot for the 2.
Couldn't agree more. Those are the set it and forget it. It's like rinse and repeat from the other night. All 3 plays, love them. Hard to go against them. I think after getting embarrassed at home, though, VGK gets a bounce back spot. Looking at both teams' home and away records, both teams are very good on the road and at home. So you're going to get a mix of, you're not sure what you're going to get at each game, but both of them were plenty above 500 on the road and at home, plus 20 wins each for both home and the road. So they both are very good wherever they play. So I think it's a well-matched series. I think we saw that now last game, but I think the Knights know they got to take one in Minnesota. Probably better to take the first over the second.
I'm absolutely with you, NZ. Famous last words in regulation. I think it's all VGK tonight. SPJ, I loved your whole sell job except for that one sentence of, I don't know, maybe Minnesota goes up a game. I don't think so at all. NZ, you said it. VGK should not have let them get one in Vegas. There's no reason to let this team toy around with them. VGK's outshot this Minnesota team in every single game this year. Gave up 5 goals last game, only 17 shots. That's all they gave up. It's not sustainable in the playoffs, especially if you're regularly out shooting a team. It's going to happen. I think we just got a major 10-win bang. Yeah. Bring it on. Bring it on.
We got a 10-unit whale. I'm interrupting you. I'm sorry.
Steve!
I couldn't figure out what was happening, and I'm like, Steve, I know what this means.
It's always allowed. That's always allowed.
Let's go, Steezy.
Steve, sorry. Oh, yeah. Sorry about the Avs last night, man. I needed it too.
Thanks for the support, though, man. Appreciate you.
It's the Knights. They're out shooting the Wild. That is going to continue to be a good thing. If you keep out shooting a team, good things will happen. They've been out shooting them not even by a little bit. In 5 games, they've outshot them by 12.4 shots per game. That's nearly over double digit more attempts on net per game. Good things happen when you pepper the net. So I got VGK tonight. Not scared about the end regulation. I threw out the money line for a little juiced builder that we were talking about as well, but I took the in reg for even money.
No, I that part of my sell job was more just to create some controversy. I think I agree with you. I think the Knights should win this game, especially after the way that they dropped the last game at home. 5-2.
Exactly.
These series we've talked about it with basketball too. Like sometimes you got to take into account what happens the game before, and sometimes you just got to go, nope, that was just an outlier. We're moving on. We're moving into the better team here. Any thoughts on this one, VGK Wild, or should we move to the last game?
I'm riding with NZ. VGK to, Cup Finals. I'm sorry I can't cheer for you. I got to cheer for the Leafs outside of that. But go VGK. Let's go. We get to the Cup Final.
Go Knights, baby.
Yeah. Me and SK have a little bit of a futures parlay out there that includes the Celtics and the Leafs. We had to come to terms. He got to pick one, and I picked one, yeah. But we'll see. Lakers in 5, I bet.
Yeah. Well, the guy who invented that's in a little bit of hot water right now, so maybe that's
he is. Oh my god.
This is what we got, Skit. This is what we got for the first game, starting in 25 minutes.
Oh fuck, I forgot.
That one does. That one might not be in the parlay.
They're still winning. Just go bet it straight, chat.
Let's go. Go lock in right now, chat.
Yeah, just go bet it straight. Last game of the night, Blues taking on the Jets. The Blues at home here, plus money at plus 100, minus 118 of the Jets. Over under set at 5.5. Super juice to the under, which is funny. Thoughts on this one? Didn't really dive super deep into this one.
I'm torn. What about you guys? I'm really very torn on this game. I'm really not sure. I mean, starting to smell a sweep, but I really thought that St. Louis would pull out at least 2 games. I don't know though, man.
They had a lot more fight in game 1, in my opinion. I know they kind of melted down and sure they kept it close in game 2, but just watching that, it kind of felt like Winnipeg was a lot more just comfortable with themselves and maybe that was just being the second game of the series at home, adding a little more comfortability to them. But I'm staying completely away from this one. My head does think the Jets win on the road, but I don't know. St. Louis is not necessarily a team I'd want to go on the road down 0-2. They're dangerous. They got nothing to lose. Backs against the wall. So Hellebuyck is probably going to get a workout in tonight with the amount of shots he might face. But yeah, lean with Winnipeg, but I'm certainly not going to bet it. I'm staying away, just like staying away from Ottawa.
I mean, on that note, since you did mention that, which is a great shout, Hellebuyck saves is 21.5. He hasn't hit it in both games to start the season, or both games to start the series, 14 and 21, which is why it's low. But I agree.
Jesus.
I feel like at home, the Blues are going to come out and try to put some pucks on net and try to get back into this series.
This would be a crazy collapse from like a goaltender that was like amazing during the regular season to just then in the first round kind of look this way against a Blues team that almost didn't even make the postseason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's true. They went on that big run.
Yep. I mean, he's only allowed 4 goals so far, so not terrible. But that first game, he definitely looked a little leaky, which is not normal for him.
Jets are
21.5.
blocking 13.5 shots a game too, so they're getting their bodies in front of them.
They've been doing that all year. They're turned into the Hurricanes of the North. It's annoying.
Exactly.
The Canadian Canes. Get out of here with that. Yeah, the funny thing is the Blues at plus money does kind of sing to me a little bit. I feel like one of these 2-0 teams is going to win tonight. I don't know if it's probably the Senators. Makes a little more sense. But for some plus money on the dog at home, Landon needs to run some more miles, Chad. Come on.
I can see either.
I think if you bet this, well, I guess never mind. The Senators aren't a dog. Never mind. I was going to say if you bet on both, you probably come out profitable 1-1. But no, Sens aren't a dog, so you can't do that.
Well, and the plus 100 is it's like it's plus money. It's trying to bait you in, but it's only plus 100. Like the Jets are a way superior team overall. Like they've been almost minus 200 in both first games.
Right. Being on the road, that makes sense to me. A small favorite there.
Mm-hmm. No plays though. I don't think any of us have plays in that one.
No, I don't. I didn't look.
We'll monitor. We'll see if anything pops up. But
I do kind of like that Hellebuyck saves look you mentioned. That was a little cheeky. You can see him with 25. I mean, 25 is plus 162.
It seems so low, especially with the under 5.5 at what minus 150. Like it's. Jesus. Everything just screams under in that game. Yeah, Hellebuyck saves is that low. Is he only going to get 14 chances though?
What's the line for the 21.5 for the over?
Minus 125.
Okay.
Interesting. Good.
See, Rusty got the memo. He comes for players not playing, and he stayed for the vibes, which is I'm glad you stuck around after the first half an hour. You got a lot of
Shout out Tyler O'Neill.
Shout out Tyler O'Neill for sitting this one out.
Jerk off.
I know, right? Well, we can't take the Lightning then because I don't want us to rush our parlay at the end of the show. So,
dude.
But I guess whatever I was smelling was Inzi's dog's breath. Was
shit.
We could take the Knights though. I can get down with that.
I like VGK.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps V's future that he's riding in Z with. So we can all get down with that. Okay. So Knights and Reg. And maybe we can find something else if we want to get a little more frisky. But let's move to the NBA. We'll talk about the NBA now. 3 big games in the NBA in the offs as well. V wrote about one of them. Actually, did you write about the
Knicks it just hasn't it just hasn't posted yet. So I've been having an issue with that one. But I got some plays in both games. Maybe some plays in that Grizzlies game. I'm going to take Chet threes again. It's minus 129 today. Not the same value. It's not the same fun. But let's talk about some plus money. Jamal Murray in this Nuggets game, over 5.5 assists. A little bit of a strange play, especially on the road against the Clippers. They've really done a good job of hounding this Nuggets team. In the first game, they turned the ball over 20 times, and it resulted in 29 points for the Nuggets. Second game, they flipped the switch. The Nuggets turned the ball over 20 times, and then it was the Clippers that kind of won that game. The 2 teams that won the turnover battle in each game won said game. Today's game on the road, we've seen both Jamal and Jokic playing 40-plus minutes in that last game, and that wasn't a game that didn't include overtime. He's going to have to play that much time again tonight. They can't go down 2-1 after giving up home court here in the first 2 games. I really think that this 2-man game of him and Jokic is really going to take shape today. Jokic had 26 points in the last game. He hasn't been shooting as much, but the offense has kind of slowed down because of it. They have the number 1 fast break offense, but through 2 games, the Clippers have done a fantastic job to slow it down, junk it up, and even outscore them on the fast break. Tonight, they need to change that. They need to turn the Clippers over. They need to get out in transition, and they need to get guys like Aaron Gordon and Christian Braun at the net for some easy looks. I think Jokic is going to have to play some 2-man game and put some pressure on Zubac down in the middle. And I think that's exactly why I'm looking at Jamal Murray. If you look at the numbers from matchup time, Chris Dunn, Kawhi Leonard, and Norm Powell have seen a majority of time on Jamal Murray in this situation, in this series. And because of that, his shooting percentages haven't maybe been where you'd like to expect them, but he has done a great job of facilitating. He's hit the 6+ assist line in 7 of his last 10 games, averaging 10.1 potential assists. And in the postseason is when he kind of elevates his game a little bit. He's going to have to facilitate on the road. He's going to have to find his teammates because the way he's playing against much bigger defenders than Kawhi and Norm. And Chris Dunn, we know, is a fantastic defender. So give me Jamal Murray's over 5.5 assists in this one, because I do think him and Jokic are going to run Kobe and Shaq-esque 2-man game tonight.
Yeah, I like this. I took his RA last game, and he sold. His assist hit. His RA did not. But I like it for all the reasons you just mentioned. He's going to have the ball in his hands a bunch. First game in the Intuit Dome, too. First game on the road for the Nuggies here. As they look to get back into this series. They also could have an opportunity where the Clippers could have gone down 1-0 and now go up 2-1 if the Clippers win tonight. So I know you're on this guy too, but I'll sell it first because I know you wrote about it as well. We're on the same person here. We both took
Malik
different
Beasley.
lines. No? Thank God.
Good guess, though. Good guess. I am on him too.
Yeah.
Full disclosure. But yeah, go ahead.
Of course you are. That guy's in timeout for a while. In the same game, on the Clippers side of things, Kawhi was awesome last game. Really, really good. James Harden was awesome game 1. But chat, guess who's been awesome both games? Zubac, over 16.5 points. This line is up to 17.5. He's going to talk about the PRA in just a second, which you can take that route if you want to go to. But Zubac just hit this line. Didn't hit it in game 1. He only had 16 points in that game, but he had 21 in game 1. But if you look at his road splits and his home splits, he plays so much better at home. Even though against the Nuggets, it doesn't really matter. In the last 3 home games to finish out the regular season, in games that the Clippers really, really, really needed to win to get to the seeding that they're at right now, 20 points, 24 points, and 25 points. 37 minutes and 38 minutes in those games as well. He's been a huge part of their offense. Their offense runs a lot better when they run that kind of high pick and roll with him and Harden. He catches the ball at the top of the key, and then he either can facilitate or go to the cup and attack Jokic defensively. He has to attack Jokic defensively as like a defensive strategy, weirdly enough, to kind of make Jokic work. Because if you don't make Jokic work for an entire game, he's just going to wear you out offensively. And they like to do that with Zubac. So I love the points. V, you want to touch on why you took the PRA instead of the points?
Absolutely. So I did take the PRA at 33.5. He had 6 potential assists for 4 assists in that last game. But more than that, he has been attacking the offensive glass. This Nuggets team is a good rebounding team, but still through 2 games, he's had 9 offensive rebounds. 6 in the first game, 3 in the last one. And the thing is when you were playing a guy like Jokic, they don't have anybody to defend him. When Zubac would hit the bench, the guy that was coming in to put in a few minutes on Jokic was Ben Simmons. That's not a matchup that you want out there. They were doing their best to match Jokic's minutes with Zubac. Thing is Jokic can play 48 minutes if he wanted to, and there's not another 7-footer in this league that could do that. Zubac has still played 39 and 40 minutes in those 2 games and matched up with Jokic pretty well. The 2 games came in the altitude of Denver. They both came on the road with just 1 day in between. Tonight, Zubac has had 2 days of rest, back in Los Angeles, back at home, and I think he's going to have a much better game. On 2 days rest this season, he's averaging 19.5 points per game, 13.5 rebounds per game, and 3.1 assists per game. All kind of highs. It's no surprise that as a big 7-foot center, he does better when he gets 2 days to rest in between games. His game with Harden this year has really opened up his offensive game, and it's the reason he's now seeing the increased time that he is. He's looking like an all-NBA center, maybe an all-NBA third team this year. I just think in this situation, if you want Jokic to struggle, struggle by his standards, you need to put pressure on him on the offensive glass, on the offensive side, and make him work. It's also a big reason why they have kind of held him in check in terms of fast break points. If Jokic isn't coming down with the rebounds, he can't get the ball out in transition. That first game, he didn't get a triple-double because he finished with 9 rebounds, right? That was the game. Zubac had 6 offensive rebounds. It's no surprise the way they battle on the glass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the numbers, the best overall defender in the entire NBA over the last 2 seasons guarding Nikola Jokic has been Zubac. He's the best defender one-on-one against Jokic statistically. But it's a great point. We both kind of said it, that I think the part of the reason why that is the case is because of Zubac attacking him offensively to make him work, which causes him to be, like I said, tired, and like you kind of talked about too. So should be a good game though. I have one more play. You kind of talked about this guy too, but real quick before we move past this Nuggies Clippers game, who do you think wins? You guys have any thoughts on who you think wins? Shags, I know you've been on the Nuggies kind of since the start of this series. Any thoughts on this game though?
No, not really. From my slight Nuggets homerism, I hope they win this game. But that's all I got.
Okay, Sauce, what do you think? 4.5 points.
For me, I'm seeing it at 5.5 now, depending on where you're going to get it at. I do think the 5.5 is a solid number. Even at 5, I think the Clippers might walk away with the win. But this series is going to go 6 or 7 games, that's for sure. And I think the Nuggets, if they don't steal one tonight, they probably steal one in game 4. But this Clippers team is for real, boys. They are for real.
For reals indeed. Yeah, you want to go points, go PRA with Zuby Dooby Doo. He's in a good spot. You talked about this guy earlier, and then we'll start cooking because we're going to run out of time, shockingly.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to touch anything in this Grizzlies Thunder game because this series is stanky. But I found something I really liked. I got it in last night. Yeah, PU. I got it in last night at 14.5. It has jumped to 16.5. I still like it there. V just kind of mentioned his threes, which you can go that route if you prefer. But I love Chet in this game. Over 14.5 points. This line feels very disrespectful for how Chet's looked to start this season against the Grizzlies. Start the series against the Grizzlies. 19 and 20 points in both of those games. And frankly, Chet, the last game, he played 38 minutes, but he could have sat the last half of that fourth quarter. Mark Daigneault left those guys out there to kind of keep the ball rolling, I think. It pissed me off because I needed Aaron Wiggins' points, but it was good coaching tactic, I think, to keep his starters engaged, pedal to the metal, and it mattered for Chet. He set this line in 3 straight games, but again, this is kind of the opposite of what I was just talking about with Zubac. This is how Chet does on the road. In the last 5 road games that the Thunder have played, 22 points, 20 points, 18 points, 16 points, and 23 points. He has been feasting on the road, hitting threes, taking advantages of bad matchups, and kind of being that second really solid scoring option beside SGA. So it's a bad matchup for the Grizzlies. Zach Edey can't guard this guy one-on-one, and they don't really have Jaren Jackson Jr. is obviously a better defender, but he can't even guard Holmgren one-on-one too. When they go with that double big lineup with Holmgren and Hartenstein on the floor, bad news bears for the Memphis Grizzlies. Bad news Grizzlies Bears, So, yeah, I love the 14.5. I laddered it to 20. V, you want to mention the threes? I know you got it sprinkled somewhere or in some slip.
Yeah, I took the threes. Again, the Grizzlies gave up a shit ton of wide open threes in that last one. I think it was 27. But this time, the Thunder didn't just shoot 35% on them. They shot 42%. Probably more of the same tonight. Yeah, it's a road environment. Chet's 3-point percentage does drop off significantly on the road here, but I do think this is a spot where he's going to continue to shoot. He had 8 wide open 3-point attempts in that one. The Grizzlies have not adjusted. They'll need to in this one, but I don't think they make the adjustments enough that the 1.5 is too much in danger. I just do think that it's going to be a road environment down in Memphis tonight. This is a road crowd. This is a team and a fan base that is known to get very loud, very rowdy. And these small markets, they make it hard on the opposing team when they come into that building. I think Shea's points after 2 back-to-back games kind of really struggling. Even the 27-point game he had in the last one, sitting at 32.5 still tonight. On the road, you got something to prove. It feels like a good spot for him too if you want to dabble. I did not take it, but I do like it. And then in the next game, I have one cheeky play. Dennis Schroeder over 4.5 assists. You can get it for plus 145 for 5+ assists. He had 3 assists in that first game. I think this is a solid line for him. The potential assists, it's only going to say 2. That's obviously a mistake. Whoever was stat keeping and stuff like that. He played 29 minutes for them last game. He gave them a edge off the bench for 20 points. Really came into that game and gave him a spark plug, especially against guys like Jalen Brunson. He's a better defensive matchup out there than guys like maybe Tim Hardaway. Maybe he doesn't bring the same scoring oomph, but tonight in front of their home crowd, off their first playoff win since 2009, I don't know. The environment in Detroit is going to be rowdy. We saw multiple Detroit teams kind of have some success. It might finally be time that the Pistons have a little bit of success. Sorry, NZ.
Nope.
No, I like it, dude. I like his points too. This series is tough to kind of cap just from a perspective of it's kind of hard to just not want to keep taking Brunson and Cade just because both of them have been scoring like crazy, and I don't think that's going to stop just because both of these teams need their superstars to be that in this, especially in what they're seeing in the first couple games. I like Cat though. Did you look at Cat in this game?
I did. I'm not sure. Like the Knicks offense was very kind of like discombobulated last game. We saw Jalen Brunson have 37 points, but Cat and OG went from 23 apiece to 10 apiece. Mikal Bridges kind of saw an increase in volume, did a lot with it, but the 19 points, the team failed to score 100. I don't know. I think anyone in this Knicks starting lineup is kind of good. Their bench isn't really playing at all. Outside of Mitchell Robinson, they are averaging the lowest number of bench points, the lowest number of bench minutes. It's going to be weird, and it's going to be strange if you like
Tibbs
it.
Being Tibbs.
Exactly. But that's also why I think Detroit's got the edge, man. They've got back-to-back games with a 20-point scorer off the bench. They get more kind of, more from their bench just in general. It's hard to win in the playoffs when you're getting less than 20 points from your bench mob.
It's just one of those situations with these series. It's true in hockey, but also in basketball too. And we saw it last night. And I told you this, and I loved Jalen Green, even though Jalen Green had a terrible first game. And what did he do last night? He had almost 40 points, 38 points was kind of the reason why they ended up that Jimmy Butler getting hurt didn't help. The reason why the Warriors dropped yesterday's game in Houston. Sometimes after games where guys maybe have an off night, it's okay to go back to them, especially the kind of more quote unquote superstar type players, which is why I looked at Cat. I mean, Cat had a really poor game last game, did not shoot the ball very well. On the road, going away from the Garden, he set this line in 7 of his last 8 games of the 22.5 points. And the last game, funny enough, was in Detroit, and he had 25 points in that game. I just think it's a bad matchup, and I think that he could come out and be aggressive and kind of right the wrongs that happened to him in the last game. Kind of more of a Plums feel on that one.
A lot of his points did come in the fourth quarter of that one with Cat. I will say that, but I can see. I know NZ's in the NBA lab. I can tell. I can tell when he's deep in the NBA lab. It's okay, NZ.
Is he telling me that the Cat was a donation?
No. This is off topic. But
Oh, okay.
there's an NHL corrections report website that you can go to where they correct stats, and they are starting to correct statistics from the 22nd, which was Tuesday. They have made corrections to the Tampa and Florida games, so let's hope they're going through all of the games.
Oh my God!
Imagine
if that ticket turns green tonight, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I'm not having any hope, but I thought it was interesting. I saw a little something from one of our friends on the Twitter here, and I said, let me go check something out. And I said, well, it's 2 days ago that they're only just starting to correct the games from 2 days ago. It's a very questionable call there, so maybe there's a hope for us.
Fingers crossed, chat. Fingers crossed. Good to know. Well, at least we'll probably know tonight. Sounds like.
Yeah.
Word. All right, we talked about the NFL draft for a little bit, and now we gave you guys all the plays. We went through all the games, which is pretty fun. Kind of nice to just sit here and gab through all of it. It's great when we have like legit big-time games to talk about, We're not having to sift through a bunch of different random shit. Like, it's just focus on the goods.
Like the cook. Hornets. Yuck.
Yeah, yeesh. Or the
Hornets
Predators.
On Friday night.
What a terrible hockey team.
Or the MLB in general.
Oh, thanks for saying that. This is a safe space, Shaggy. I know that up here units has become not a safe space in recent weeks, but it's okay. I don't know.
Bro, it's me and Colby just going back and forth, and it's like MLB, and then I'm just hockey. I gotta do something.
Hey, McLovin
was good to me.
McLovin,
Up to like a day or so ago.
You get it. Although, hey, system play tomorrow. Royals money line Friday night at the K plus 102 on BetOnline right meow.
On that note, here's some MLB to bet.
Yeah.
System plays only. All right.
Yeah, fair enough.
Dude,
All right,
how'd you
lads.
know, man? How'd you know?
Let's do this. There's 4 of us. We've all got different plays we kind of talked about. Let's all take a play that we like and do a 4-legger. Nice and easy. Bring it back to the original roots. You want to take VGK, right, Shags?
Yeah, VGK.
Minus 160 money line is fine, eh?
Not terrible. For a parlay, that will do.
That'll
Give me
do.
Zuby.
You want to go pra?
Pra, let's go
Another
pra.
MLB we can't do today.
Okay.
For
Shooby-dooby-doo.
tomorrow, Rusty. Tomorrow.
PRA from Mr. Zubac. It's 34.5. Are you good with that?
That's so high. Let's take the
I can
points.
take it.
What about the PR?
Okay. I can drop it to 33.5. It's just going to be some juice.
I'm down with 34 and a half. What am I saying? He's gonna have a huge game tonight. 34 and a half.
Let's be smart and let's take it where the line you took, because
All right, 33 and a half.
I don't want us yelling at each other later.
We're too nice for that, but I'll definitely be yelling in the mirror if he doesn't hit.
You guys get an inside scoop about Vsauce's home line.
This isn't your fault, all right? You're not
It's like that
playing.
meme. It's the
It's
meme
not a
of,
you
like,
thing.
Go out there and make it about you. Inzi,
Hurdle point minus 125.
love it. That helps VGK.
Yes, sir.
Point from Mr. Hurdle Thomas. Chet is going to take us home.
Points, right?
Chet,
13 and a
Mr.
half.
Holmgren.
Yeah.
I got 14.5, but that is actually pretty juice now. I'll just let me read the odds to you guys and see what we're looking at here. Chet for 14.5 points is now minus 192. We could take 15.5 for minus 146. Or we could take the 2 threes.
I mean, I don't mind the 15 plus at, what is it, minus 1, whatever.
Minus 192.
Only because, I mean, it is for the lay. It's not bad.
Yeah, I guess it's a 4-legger for plus 532. Is that a little too soft, or is that okay?
It'll work.
I think it works.
I mean, there's someone in the beginning of the show asked us to do like a builder.
Yeah,
for
Yeah,
plus
actually,
100.
right.
So
Let's listen to them. Let's listen to
So-
them get a little soft.
Listen.
let's just have one go through the hoop. All right, so Golden Knights money line. If you want to get frisky, chat though, and take him in red, go for that. That'll bump it up. That's what Shaggy actually likes. You can take Zubac at his line at 34.5, and you can take Holmgren at 16.5, which is his line if you don't want to get soft with it. But we're gonna go with the normal safe route, and we're gonna go VGK on the money line, Thomas Hurdle for a point, Zubac for 33.5 PRA, and then Chet Holmgren for 15 points plus 536.
Boom.
Bing bong. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it.
Oh, yeah. That'll do,
Big man.
donkey.
That'll do. Good stuff. Great show, boys. Chat, much love.
sir.
Thanks for hanging out and talking some good stuff tonight. It's the Yos, baby. Soak it all in. It's going to be like another week of like games, and then it's going to really pull back, and you're going to have to focus more on baseball. So,
I don't want that.
Fun stuff.
just enjoy it now while you can. We appreciate you guys being here. Go follow all these beautiful amigos on the screen. Vsauce, NZ, Shaggy Bets. Go follow Colby M. Bets, the new Mr. Marcio 2.0.
I'm gonna have to get that out of my brain. Signing off, you up your units.
Colby Marcio 2.
Follow my man
_2.
at _Marcio2. Follow my man at Colby M. Yeah, I can't do it.
It's-
already.
He's an
Honestly, though,
underscore.
this is easier. This is easier than like when you got to tag him and stuff. Having to like put in the
Yeah.
little underscore. He never comes up for some reason. He
Oh,
never
trust
comes
me,
up.
I know. It's been a fun time the past year. Hey, Shags, you can't complain. You know, you did the whole shake up of your name.
Yeah.
on it.
And when did you guys make this official? Was it a civil ceremony we weren't invited to? And he took your last name?
Hey, this is just him, all right? This is just his doing. I didn't sign any paperwork. There's just a similar name, all right?
I just want
Is
Chad
there-
to know that this all started in the DMs. This fruitful, this loving relationship right here. Now, a year later, more than a year later,
Yeah.
Kobe's taking his last name and it's official. This is beautiful.
Was there?
He was in the
Family,
group chat.
Colby.
Maybe we'd know.
Yeah, true. Was there? Was there Malort involved, Shags? Is that why you don't remember?
Yeah, there might have been actually. Maybe that's how he convinced me.
Probably. Probably.
Just
Drinking out of
take
his
this
belly
shot,
button.
Shaggy, and sign here.
Yeah. Oh god, that stuff tastes
So
like a
happy I didn't
tire.
drink that shit.
Oh, dude.
That ended my night, bro. It literally ended my night.
That's why I didn't take it.
Your night was over an hour
Yeah,
before
that
when
the
the
bet
Packers
and the
lost.
Packers.
That was
I
the
mean,
last thing we
come
took before we
on.
moved. That was the last shot that we took, and then it was it. That was my night. It was done.
That
And
and
you
Jordan
may or
Love
may
getting
not have
hurt.
jumped out of a moving car in the middle of traffic, but we won't get into that.
If I didn't, I might or might not have yacked in that car and had to pay that poor cab driver.
Poor
I'll tell everybody a quick story. Enzi almost got his head chopped off by an Uber driver because I went to go put the seat back a hair and he hit the gas so hard. I was like, zoom, and I thought this guy was going to throw me out the car. And then V came and made me look much better when he almost puked.
Yeah, almost. It was bad.
Gerald, it's funny because wouldn't have believed you, but now that we've all hung out with him, we know that this actually happens on occasion.
Yes.
Hey, I enjoy the pregame probably the most. All right, pregame is my favorite part of the night.
He likes warming up more than he does the actual game itself.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
You're like that guy that warms up and then like twinges a muscle because he warmed up too hard and he can't actually play in the game.
I'm out there at shooter. I'm going hard as fuck. Like I'm about to play 35 minutes just to see the 12th man roll on the bench. You know what I mean? Ask me.
Hey, we all have our things, man. All right, chat. Appreciate you guys stopping by for Afternoon BetSpresso. We'll be live tomorrow. These boys will be live in the morning, a little earlier, chat. So set your alarms, 10 Eastern, 9 Central, and then we'll be live for the All Sauce team in the afternoon to get you ready for some NBA action to kick off the weekend. Bye, doggies.
Doggos.
Won't leave me alone.
Doggos. They love their daddy. You guys came for the winners. You stayed for the vibes. We'll catch you on the next one. Enjoy the draft tonight. Enjoy the parlays. And let's have some fun. Take it easy, guys. Peace.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? Riding in the deep. Down in the deep. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. About rolling. What you gonna do? Rolling. What you gonna do? Down in the rolling. What you gonna do? Right, y'all be loving this shit. What you know about